And so it is, beloved masters. The world has believed that if it does not push itself, if you do not drive yourself through your life, if you are not forcing yourself to accomplish, that motivation will begin to dwindle until there is no movement forward. And quite frequently in these times, you hear it in the media that motivation is simply dwindling because people aren't pushing themselves as hard as once they did. So we are giving a consideration to motivation without the force. Motivation really doesn't come from being pushed, threatened, controlled, or driven. Motivation comes from creating what you love, enjoying that creative process, delighting in the experience that you bring to yourself, and feeling fulfillment in the outcome of how you have created. Motivation. It moves you forward. The delight of the experience makes the next experience attractive. And the attraction of being fulfilled by your own accomplishments becomes a greater motivation. Feeling within yourself a comfort in who you are and how you create, a security in your capabilities, and the intrigue of what is next. The lure of the unknown. And for some people, the lure of the unknown is not a motivation, but something that causes them to put the brakes on. Wait. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I like where I'm being taken. I don't know. Makes me afraid. And the ego wants to know, yes, where is this going? And what is the outcome? And what is going to happen as I make that journey? So the motivation that moves you forward is the delight of the experience of discovery. Knowing that the universe has a gift for you. And some people simply cannot stand the idea that if there is a gift, they don't know what it is. What's in the box? What is waiting for me? And yet, in this process, you can no longer find the box, carefully remove the ribbon and the paper, slip the lid off, and discover what is there for you, and then put the lid back on, carefully rewrap the box, put the ribbon back in place, and pretend you don't know what you're getting. You know within yourself. You can feel it. And the logical, practical mind says, but I don't know. I can't see it. I haven't touched it. I don't know what's in the box. But you can feel it. And feeling, beloved masters, encompasses all the other senses. The senses that you have become accustomed to depending upon in the illusion. So, as you allow yourself to be motivated forward into the unknown, allowing faith to lead you and be your guide, trusting that all is well, and being open to the acceptance of unlimited possibilities. And the more that you allow that motivation to take you forward, the more you will feel motivated to take the next step. And then there will come the place where your logical, practical mind says, I don't know what the next step should be. But you feel it. You feel guided to take a step forward, to make a turn, even to look around you and see how many different doors might be in the room, and considering intuitively, energetically, which door will bring me the next greatest step. And as you trust that which motivates you, you make the step. And yes, beloved masters, there will be times when you make the step and you will actually wonder, did I choose correctly? And then the force that the ego applies can make the waiting very difficult. But as you feel into yourself, you will begin to become more aware of the comfort, the security, the reassurance, and you will trust the next choice even more. You will discover within yourself how the energy of the ego will seek to mislead you, to attempt to get you to make snap decisions, or to take a step without a consideration. And when I say a step, I don't literally mean you just put one foot forward, unless perhaps you feel that you are in darkness. And then perhaps that step might be a bit tentative until you are willing to open yourself to the light. Enlightenment. Choices made in frustration, fear, impatience, anger, tend to create a misstep. It isn't necessarily that it's wrong or bad or terrible, but it certainly can give you pause to wonder about making the next choice. Feel it. Really feel it. Feel it in your solar plexus. Feel it in the area of your stomach. Feel it in your heart. Even, beloved masters, allow your choices to be made from the very cellular structure of your being. And every choice that you make with the desire for the highest good of all concerned, you first, then it is, beloved masters, you will feel more connected to that very sweet, joyous, delightful motivation that is a confirmation of wise choices, is a delight to move you forward, and the ego still desires to create limitation, to cause you to worry about the choices that you have made. Did I make the right choice? Am I taking the right steps? Take a deep breath and remember, masters' choices are not intellectual decisions. Masters' choices are allowing yourself to be in touch with your guidance, the deep internal recognition within yourself that allows you to feel connected to the flow, that allows you to feel at-one-ment, connection, and the synchronicity that is universal confirmation that you are in the flow. And so, the mind says, am I making the right choice? If you are thinking about it, if you are trying to figure it out, if you are worrying about how to do something, or what the outcome is going to be, then you are once more consulting with your ego. And the ego begins to push you to make choices. Hurry up now. You haven't got any time to waste. You've got to make a choice. You've got to make your decision right now. You hear it in school. You hear it on the job. You hear it from people in positions of authority. Because if you hurry people along and you do not give them time to feel into their own personal understanding, then you can cause them to make a misstep. Forced motivation. You've got to get moving. Get up and move. Rather than feel and consider before you make the next step. It isn't about hours of consideration, beloved masters. If you are feeling, then the connection is plugged in. So it isn't about trying to find out what the answer is. It's simply about hearing that still small voice of divine guidance within you. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters. Creativity may come in a blinding burst of insight, or it may come in one small, brilliant concept. It may come in a hesitant step. But as you take the step, you begin to feel the support, the strength, the security within you. And even though the first step of creation is hesitant, the next one is more steady. And then you are walking much more confidently toward the goal. Even though the finite mind is saying, you don't know what the goal is. Where are you going? And it is that joyous motivation of feeling your own creative flow moving you forward can, yes, take you from a hesitant walk to moving forward in joy, to perhaps running part of the way just in the sheer delight of obtaining the goal. It isn't about running everywhere you go, because doing things fast is not a particular blessing in the energy of these times. It isn't necessarily that everything is slowed down so much that you hardly move, but it is, beloved masters, the more that you connect with the divine energy, the more you move with the flow, the more you feel the sacred understanding within you, and the more you simply turn your focus away from force. It isn't that the world will attempt to force. It isn't as though things will make you move, and yet you may feel as though that is happening. And it's the understanding that even if someone is applying pressure to make you move, it is still to listen within yourself. It isn't about resistance or rebellion. It's about staying connected and not just being motivated by outside force, but being much more clearly, powerfully motivated by your own internal power of your creative ability. So, dearly beloved masters, even though there is a lot of suggestion from the media that if you don't push yourself, drive yourself, force yourself to keep going, you won't accomplish anything. Again, we say, feel it. Feel it. Hard work is, in most instances, certainly after a period of time, simply something that you are forcing yourself to engage in. And the carrot in front of the donkey's nose has always been that hard work will bring great rewards. And that certainly has motivated the masses to go forward to attempt to accomplish the great dream. But it is, beloved masters, when you allow the energy of joy to be your motivation, you accomplish more. You get more done in less time, and you feel a greater sense of fulfillment when you are motivated by a sense of pleasure, creating what you desire, doing what you love, and being motivated by the sheer joy of being involved in such compatible energy. And in that flow, the synchronicities happen and happen and happen more and more. They're everywhere. They're all around you. They're within you. Feel it. And life becomes more enthusiastic, more joyful, motivated by happiness rather than driven by fear. And it is, beloved masters, for each and every one to become so clear within themselves about where is the source of the fear. Very often, people feel fear and they project it out on those in front of them. The boss expects this or that from me. My mate, my partner, wants me to do things this way. And I'm afraid if I don't, I'll lose my job, I'll lose my relationship. My children demand things of me all the time. And yet I am afraid if I tell them no, they will not like me. They won't love me. So the fear creates the force that motivates a consistent flow of activity that is not producing a desired outcome. And yet, the fear says, you can't stop doing this. If you stop doing what your boss wants of you, what your partner expects of you, what your children demand of you, then you will be alone and no one will care. So motivation without force, in all honesty, is you caring about you. You being considerate of you. You respecting your own creative ability. And you honoring yourself for your own productive abilities. And that, dearly beloved masters, keeps you connected to your dreams.